welcome back to King and Queen's Confessions. King Julian here, and I got my girl Champagne.
Hey y'all.
And today we're talking about
not letting you go.
not letting yourself go. Don't be nervous. Basically, not letting yourself go. Whether you're in a marriage, been in a relationship for a few years, sometimes you can fall by the wayside and not let yourself go. So I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one. Like, what made you think about, this topic?
To me, lately I've been working out a lot more. So people were asking me, "Oh, why you working out? Why you trying to?"
Y'all snitched.
I'm trying. No, they asked me like, "Well, why you working out? You already married, or you been with him since I was in high school?" And I'm like, "You do realize we're together for a reason,
Right.
Like, if you wake up and my face is all ugly and I'm not brushing my teeth, I'm not getting my hair done, my feet looking like I ain't been had a pedicure in months, you think he gonna still be looking at me? Like, no, you got to keep up. Like, you want that person to remember you. I mean, I know we all change,
right,
but you want them to remember you and love you for like how you were when you first met.
Right. Basically, you still kind of like keeping the same stuff up or whatever. No, I get what you're saying. Do you feel like people feel like because they're married and they got the person, they could just be like, "Oh, I could just let myself go. You're supposed to love me."
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying because I'm like, damn, bitch, I met you was getting your hair done.
Yes.
Now you feel like because you got me, bitch, you gonna be bald headed. No offense to nobody who bald headed. I'm just saying, like,
It's true though.
keep your shit together. You feel what I'm saying?
You have to.
You got them a certain way. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes I feel like you can lose people a certain way too.
Yes.
If
you have to keep up with yourself. Like, ladies, you should be getting, if not a manicure, at least a pedicure. Like, we all got some little feet and we all got the problem going down there. So it's like, if you don't want to pay somebody to do it yourself.
Right.
Learn, teach yourself, YouTube.
Or at least polish them. Like,
something.
You can polish them. I mean, and fellas too, like, don't be just letting your hair be out. Well, look, my hair wild right now.
But it look good.
We ain't talking about me. But, like, get a haircut. You feel what I'm saying? If you was getting braids, get your hair braided. I mean, let it be presentable is basically what we're saying.
Yes.
Like, be presentable. Don't be sloppy and be like, "Oh, okay, well, I got him. I caught him. I married him. You supposed to love me for me." Yeah, I loved your ass for you when you was getting your fucking hair done.
Because you was looking good.
She was looking good. Like,
Prime example.
And you just letting yourself go.
Tremaine ain't got it cut in like 2 weeks. Today he came home. I was about to call you like, "I don't think I'm coming over today." He grew the beard out, and I've been telling him to grow it out, but then he got everything all cut and he walked through the door. I was like,
so did he cut it off or did
no, he got the whole beard. He's got it shaped up and lined up and the fresh lined up, and he walked through the door, baby. I was like, woo!
He was like, "I'm gonna be late." Look,
let's go in the bathroom
she
real
was
quick.
about to be late for this segment because her man was looking all fine.
Oh, he was looking good. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Keep yourself up. Like, keep your spouse happy.
Right. So we're not just saying keep yourself up, keep your spouse happy, but we're gonna actually give you some tips, tricks to actually do that. So, like, let's give like our top 3 things that you could do to make sure you're keeping yourself up. So we already said, like, make sure you keep a pedicure. Cleanliness is next to godliness, of course.
Yes.
You want to stay fresh or whatever. But, like, those little things, I feel like even not even just appearances. You have to, go out here and there. And I mean, we know it's COVID. We know it's COVID. I mean, but a walk is okay. You can exercise with your spouse if that's something that you guys are interested in doing. Even if you're at home. Like, I have definitely picked up a lot of tricks from you. From when I tell you this girl literally be like, "Oh, let's do the little roses. We're gonna do all this or whatever." I mean, because
make it work. I
feel like I'm a romantic to an extent, but I feel like you literally are like a walking Pinterest when it comes to
and that's my favorite
a lot
website
of stuff. Seriously, I have definitely. We're gonna have to do another video on actually some of the things that you actually do because you're literally good on that. So, like, yeah, date night, keeping yourself up, being groomed, even I feel like conversations too, like telling your spouse how you feel about them, because if you did that in the beginning, and then you just stop doing it, that could be something that is lacking.
Encouraging your spouse with
That
their
is a good
dreams. That's something I was just telling Julian Almost failed that. Almost failed that because I was so worried about the future and the what ifs that I'm like, I didn't tell him, you know what? Do it.
Right.
Like, I mean, if you fail, hey, you tried.
Right.
But I was just so worried about, we got to make sure we keep money in the bank. Like, don't spend all of our savings. Don't do this. Don't do that. I'm like, you know what? You've been working at your same job all these years, over 13 years.
Right.
He's always paid the bills, always. Like, I have never paid rent in my life the whole time I've ever been with him. So I'm like, you know what? If you want to start your career and do what you want to do, I got your back 100%.
Right.
Pass or
that's
fail.
good. That's good. That's good. But you have to keep a healthy balance.
Yeah.
You know, encourage your spouse, but also be realistic about certain situations. You guys need to have a conversation about the stuff or whatever. So like, yeah, but you guys have a niche. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you just decided not to be like, oh, I'm not gonna pay rent or whatever, like X, Y, and Z. Because you know, some people see the video and be like, oh, she ain't never pay rent. That's how the fuck they operate. So they operate.
I had
like
to bring this kid.
They operate like that, so that's how they do it.
Yes.
So, but no, I agree. You have to encourage your spouse because I feel like sometimes that we forget that part. I feel like we be so, even when we're wrapped up into like making ourselves look good, being, you know, making sure we have good sex, making sure we have this, making sure we're giving gifts. We forget to say the little things like, oh babe, good job. I appreciate you. Like, you're looking good. Oh babe, you smell good. Like that kind of stuff is super, super, super important because you have to learn the love language. Like, and that all ties into not letting yourself go, not let things fall by the wayside as far as your relationship is concerned. So that is a good kudos, bitch.
Toast. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. Oh, and we didn't even do our drink of the day.
Oh yeah, so look. This Stella Rosa peach is so good.
It's my first time having it.
Is it? Oh yeah, you did say that. So look, let me tell you. Stella Rosa. Hit this up. I definitely have been
I like it.
drinking this. It doesn't have a whole bunch of sugar in it. It's not like, it's only like 14 grams of sugar, you know. It's not like a whole bunch. And I've been like kind of like on this low sugar thing, you know, like my little journey. I'm trying to make sure I keep myself like all fine and shit, you know.
He on his own with that.
So next time I'm gonna sneak up some zero sugar juice.
All right, so what else can you say about keeping yourself up and keeping your relationship up?
Let's see. I feel like outside of physical appearance, letting your spouse know how you feel about them, going out on dates.
Mental.
Yeah, mentally. Like that, that communication is super important.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you don't want your spouse feeling one way and then you're doing a different thing. Make sure everything matches when you're talking, communicating. Physical appearance is one thing, but mentally you have to keep your spouse enthused, I feel.
Yeah.
Like it all definitely ties into everything.
Little tricks and surprises. Like if you have kids, for example, send them with the grandma, sister, cousin, whoever for the weekend. When your man or wife or husband, boyfriend, girlfriend get home, have the house spotless clean. Have a drink on the table. Put some rose petals all through the house. Get your little lingerie or boxers or hell, be asshole naked. Whatever floats your boat. But like, I mean, you gotta keep that.
That like
when they come home, like, oh, okay, they really care.
Right.
Like everything should be well, to me, I like surprises. I love surprises. My husband don't really give surprises. He like what you want. I'm like,
because sometimes people are so like they don't want them to be disappointed, you know, or they don't want to be disappointed. I get why. Because it's like they're like, okay, if I ask you and you say you want that, if I give it to you, you can't say, oh, I didn't want that. You told me you wanted it. You did.
That's true. But I'm like, look, you gotta at least like try, put a little bit of effort into it.
Right.
So that like, to me, that's also something that's important as far as keeping up your relationship. To me, I would also say, we spoke last week about communicating effectively.
Right. Effectively, people.
Effectively. Not just communicating, yelling, screaming. one thing that was brought to my attention this week by a friend is, how do I say this? You don't always have to communicate with your spouse. Like,
elaborate.
You don't always have to agree.
Right. Okay.
Because to me, some people like, oh, well, we just can't never agree on nothing, and how do you guys always end arguments? And I'm like, agree, disagree.
Right.
Like, you don't always have to agree with everything.
You're not going to always agree with everything because that's not realistic, because we all have, differences. Like,
Right.
we all have different opinions. We all have different views. So you're going to like something that your spouse doesn't like, and that's fucking okay. Like, I don't like when people feel like, oh, I have to like everything they like. Like, if they don't like it, then oh my God. Like, bitch, you are your own person.
Not to mention, if you're never arguing, you can't even have makeup sex. And that's the best part about arguing. Like, I feel like sometimes I want to purposely start an argument just so we can be like, you want to meet me in the room?
Freak.
We gonna make up? Makeup sex is the best, especially when it was like a bad argument that lasts like 2-3 days. Like, if I can't touch and kiss my husband for 2-3 days, because I'm petty, like, I'm gonna make it last. No, I'm for real. Like, sometimes our arguments will go for 2-3 days because I'm like, I'm not apologizing. Like, if I know I was right, I'm not apologizing.
Look, people, sometimes you gotta let it go. She petty Betty sometimes, but look.
Eventually I come around. And like I said, after 3 days of no sex, no hugging and kissing, oh, it's the best. The best.
It happens like that. I don't like to argue. So I don't, but it happens. But,
it's gonna happen until the day you
I don't think I'm like, makeup sex. Like, I don't want you to, don't touch me.
Really? See, you gotta
I don't
flip
want
it
to be
around.
bothered. Look, when I won't be bothered, then yeah, but.
I'm like, I want you to touch me. And he told me that too, that I always want to be touched. Like, is there a such thing as like being touched too much? I'm like, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
When I wake up in the morning, give me
Look.
a hug. Like, I love being touched.
No, I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? No, personal space.
Don't get in the bed and go to sleep without giving me a kiss. Good night.
But you know what? That also is important. Again, you can't let things fall by the wayside. If that's something that you love and enjoy, and your spouse has always been doing that, and then all of a sudden you stop doing it, those could be some of the things that make your relationship fall apart. So be cognizant of your partner's love language.
Right.
Like, what do they need in this relationship so I could, make them happy, and vice versa. Don't just be doing stuff for them and they're not doing nothing for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you giving all the hugs and kisses and shit like that, you fucking dry as the Sahara Desert over there, then that shit is not working. Let it go.
Speak up.
It's not.
And communicate
Say
effectively. Lord,
I'm telling
ain't no way.
You're going to hear that word effectively a lot. Because it is important.
Yes.
And for those who are not understanding the meaning behind it, my thing is this. When you're communicating effectively, meaning I'm talking to you, you're listening. You're talking to me, I'm listening. And before that conversation is done, I ask you, like, do you understand? And you kind of give me a recap to let me know you really understand. Right. So if you're saying, yeah, I understand, and then the conversation arises again, and then you like basically didn't listen to shit I said. So we're not effectively fucking communicating because you don't know what the fuck I said. You just talking.
We're going in circles.
Now we're going to have a different problem.
Because now you don't listen.
No, but seriously, listening is important. Listening, effective communication, that stuff is really important, all jokes aside, because if you're with somebody who really isn't taking you into consideration and listening to you, that probably is not the person for you. And you should just let that go if they can't change their ways. Because there's always room for change. Like, we're not just saying, like, if the motherfucker ain't listening right now, leave their ass. Because we ain't responsible for you breaking up with your fucking spouse. Don't blame that shit on us.
Coming back over here and
Don't blame us.
Julian said.
And Champagne said.
Not me.
Right, no. We didn't say break up with them. Now, if they not listening to you and you tried everything you could try, let them the fuck go. I said it. I said what I said.
Period.
So, you know, definitely. So, definitely keep your spouse engaged. Don't forget the things that you did when you met them. And always keep it fresh. Like, seriously.
Try new things.
Yes. Yes. Try new things also, too. So, yeah. We're going to wrap it up. So, until next time, it's your boy, King Julian.
And Champagne.
And we out.